This video will serve as a general guide for Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares in the Spirit Island board game. The Boogeyman's biggest mechanical difference to other spirits is that it pushes invaders around instead of destroying them. Because you generate large amounts of fear, you can consistently get a fear card every round, again assuming you are playing a solo game. Think about this spirit almost as using fear cards as a separate power that we can consistently use. As we increase the fear level, our fear cards also scale, so it's in our best interest to generate fear as quickly as possible. Our general strategy is to fish for a strong major power early and to try to generate as much fear as possible. Let's look at your unique powers. You have a straightforward damage dealing card that also optionally pushes Dahan. This deals with one land on turn 1. You also have a gather or fear card. You have a defend that lets us deal with a ravaging land on turn 2. And you also have an interesting card that lets us gain a major power. Let's also look at the spirit board itself. We have a somewhat unique growth option that is reclaim 1 and add a presence. This option can be used to postpone a total reclaim so we can continue to place presence. For instance, if we grow only using reclaim 1, we can have 3 turns before a reclaim instead of 2. We can only place presence 1 at a time, so it looks like we want to almost always place presence from the top track. It would be way too slow to try to uncover 3 card plays. Additionally, our starting cards don't do a ton of damage, so blight could be an issue. Given the board and starting cards, our initial strategy is to first gather as many Dahan as possible, then gain a major power that deals a lot of damage or destroys towns or cities in some other way. We can also use the reclaim 1 to let us reuse that major power when needed. Because major powers can be energy intensive, we want to gain energy through our growths on the first 2 turns. We can only play 2 cards at a time, so gaining more power cards through our growth doesn't seem to be as beneficial in the early turns. On turn 1, we can push 1 town using Predatory Nightmares. For our second card, we want to gather Dahan together using Dreams of Dahan to get at least 3 Dahan into a single land. In an ideal scenario, we can also push Dahan with Predatory Nightmares into the same land. This way we can gain the most amount of energy when gaining our first major power on turn 2, as well as potentially setting up for gaining 3 fear the next time we use the card. The invaders build, and we push a town as a slow action. On turn 2, we grow from the top track again, gain energy, and play Call on Midnight's Dream with Dread Apparitions. With Call on Midnight's Dream, we want to gain a major power and collect the energy. When we forget a power, we also lose the elements, so it's important to use Dread Apparitions first, then activate our innate, then gain the major power. If we are unlucky and don't find a good major power, we can try to get another one on our reclaim turn. Otherwise, gain a minor power during your reclaim. It's not guaranteed that you will get a major power that gives the elements needed to get max fear from your innate, so keep that in mind when choosing. As a rule of thumb, we want a power that would normally destroy at least a city so we can get the 5 fear. Using this current opening, you will be able to easily gain a fear card on your first 2 turns, assuming you are playing solo. If you are able to deal with the currently ravaging land with the fear card last turn, you can also use the Reclaim 1 growth option to get Dreams of the Dahan to generate more fear. Note that you can consistently generate 6 fear with Dreams of Dahan and the max version of your innate after uncovering the moon element on the top track. The game will play out differently depending on the fear cards you get. It is helpful to note that you can turn over any fear card in the fear deck with your innate, not just the next fear card. This means that you can uncover multiple fear cards in bigger games where you can't gain the fear cards every turn. After you gain your first major power, the rest is up to you. I would recommend uncovering the rest of the top growth track and maybe gaining a second major power during your next reclaim. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.